Melrose, they've taken plenty over the years here from the bankings, but they take it always with good grace, and they've shut those bankings up a few times over the years. Will they shut those bankings up? Because this final is underway here and it's been kicked off by Melrose. Jed have taken it in, and Jed are going to attack the top banking here. That's a loose pass, but it's going to be taken in by the bulky figure of Fotheringham, and Fotheringham's stuffed it up the jumper and gone, and it's taken a Melrose player to haul him to deck, not before he's made a couple of metres. Another loose pass has sent Rory Marshall back into his own 22 here, so he's going to have to do a bit of donkey work. Marshall, he beats the first man and presents it, but Melrose almost managed to flop on it through Bruce Colvin, but illegally so. So Jen have got a penalty just outside their own 22 now. It's Young to Young. It's now Lewis in possession. Shearer Gibb comes in and plays scrum half, goes to Cranston, to Marshall. A bit more direct by Marshall. Cranston takes a couple of Melrose players to haul him to deck. So Jed now through Young, again out the back door to his brother Lewis, who goes to ground. Gregor comes in to clear it out, but holding on is the call from Stephen Turnbull, who's going to police this one for us. So taken quickly by Bruce Colvin for Melrose. Struan Hutchison looks to inject some energy. Don Crawford, Hamish Weir, Makowski's loitering with intent on that far side, but Weir takes it into the contact. Breathless stuff here. Scott Clark, unsung hero in these Melrose ranks, to Bruce Colvin, and inside to Struan Hutchison, and Struan Hutchison's on an arc. He's round Marshall, and the first try of the final is going to go at the playmaker. And Matty, we've said it so often in recent weeks, big players, big moments, and Struan Hutchison's certainly one of them.
Yeah, just had a great line off of BC there. They're undefendable lines there, and we never saw him last week, but you know, every tournament we're all his first man that we're speaking about in that Melrose side, his quality, and he's just took that line there, went in. Jed will be a bit frustrated. They've kind of played a lot of rugby in this, their own 22, and it kind of looks like Rory Marshall's struggling here a bit.
Rory Marshall is taking a dull one by the looks of things, so he's going to have to depart the scene, and the conversion comes back off the upright.
The scrum cap's back on. He's a warrior, Rory Marshall.
He's made a hardy stuff, Rory Marshall, so he's going to continue. Hutchison's conversion came back off the upright, so it's Jed 0, Melrose 5, and just as we spoke about pre-kick-off, Matty, Jed or Melrose have not given this Jed crowd the chance to get their dander up yet.
Nah, they've no, and that's probably credit to Melrose for the start they've made. It'll be interesting to see the next score if Jed can get up this other end of the park.
So Don Crawford tries to palm that back, but it's been picked up by Marshall. He picked it up off the bootstraps, and a wee bit of light opens up there, and now there's a break on here for. That's Robbie Douglas, but Robbie Douglas has he got the legs to make it? He's looking for support, and it comes in the shape of Robbie Shearer Gibb, who comes back into traffic, and it's knocked on by Jed. Tried to get it away, Robbie Shearer Gibb, and the chance goes a begging, but that's great scrambling defence by Melrose there, Matty. They got back to Robbie Douglas.
They were, and this is what we spoke about with Jed need to try and stretch this Melrose side. Even after the first score, they're walking back to halfway. They're out on a limb. I know they're probably having to dig deeper than they have done for a long time to try and win this. And Robbie Shearer Gibb today there was keep the ball on the deck, and he's forced offload, but it pins Melrose back in their own line. And
it's Hutchison to Crawford, Donald Crawford. We get to see Douglas in this final, but Don Crawford's made a break here, and he's got it to Hutchison, and Hutchison's over halfway, and he's going to outstrip Rory Marshall here for his second try of the final. Struan Hutchison. You mentioned it, Matty, we speak so often about him, but how can you not, because that's what he comes up with.
Well, you have to, it's not about blowing him up too much, but they've went coast to coast, and again, we just spoke about it, that you can see that they're fatigued, but to be able to go for line to line shows that these Melrose players are some athletes. And Jed will be frustrated with the try they've gave there, the defensive missed tackle. I think there was 2 or 3 missed on Donald Crawford in his own 22, and Rory Marshall just couldn't have quite pegged back Struan. And if we're honest, this is the start that Melrose would have wanted to silence the crowd. Jed needs something.
For Jed are going to have to get back into this, give the crowd something to feed off, which in turn will give them something to feed off the crowd. Donald Crawford screaming for a penalty there, and cometh Lewis Walker, because he's on, but it's been fumbled, knocked forward by Jed, and it's back in the possession of Melrose, and that's flung out to Donald Crawford. So Donald Crawford's going on the outside here, and he's absolutely burned Fotheringham. He's straight in at the corner, and Jed, Matty, they've not been able to fling a shot yet.
They haven't, and you know, when you're trying to force a score, Robbie Sherrigibb tries and probably does a bit too much there and knocks it on, and I think the Jed players thought the whistle was coming, but they played. Doug Crawford flung it to his brother. It was about a 15-metre pass, and he's just stood Ben Fotheringham up and went in the corner. And what a start by Melrose. They've probably made me eat my words a little bit in terms of before it. But Jed, they're no down and out. Lewis Walker's on, but they need Nick score. We speak about all the time. Probably repeat myself in terms of Nick scores. I'm probably got my what a conversion.
Chris Thompson's on for Melrose. He started the day as a Pigbarians player, the Peebles youngster, and again it's another good kick-off by Hutchison, and it's been knocked forward by Jed, and it's been turned into a penalty for offside. That's a wee bit harsh to me. That's accidental, and Chris Thompson takes it quickly. So Bruce Colvin now. Melrose coming back against the grain here, and Colvin's threaded one through kick-wise, and Thompson's after it. Fotheringham's had to get back, and the big man's done well to get down and maintain possession. So Jed are going to have to go coast to coast here. Marshall, Robbie Douglas to Shearer Gibbs. Shearer Gibbs tackled by Bruce Colvin, and it's Lewis Walker. To me, he seems like the man that could spark something, and he's pumping the legs up towards the 22. Melrose got men in over that, and now it's Young. Young creates a bit of space. Dummy has a dummy runner. Now it's out to his brother. He comes back in field and breaks the first tackle. Comes back inside, goes to Lewis Walker, and Lewis Walker's off here. Lewis Walker's up and over halfway, looking for support. Oh, but it's come back off the foot of Robbie Shearer Gibb and into the arms of Hamish Weir, and Hamish Weir's beat Robbie Douglas. That's a good tackle by Jed, though, and are they going to win a penalty? No, the referee's okay, but it's been knocked on by Melrose, and they managed to make some headway there, Jed, but again, dogged stuff by Melrose, scrambling defence, and you're right, Matty, the referee blows for half-time. It's Jed 0, Melrose 19, and you can't say enough good things about Melrose in this final. They've silenced the crowd, they've come out all guns blazing, they've learned their lesson from the semi-final, and they've not given Jed a sniff. So Jed looking to go quickly here. Shearer Gibb to Gregor Young to Lewis Walker. Lewis Walker's done the first man, for the crowd calling for a high shot there on Walker, but he fell into it. So Gregor Young tries to go out the back door, and it's been picked up by Makowski. Open prairie in front of the flyer.
He's lucky there,
knock-on's been awarded, so they're going to come back, but that'll take 30 seconds off the clock.
It's playing into Melrose hands. They're clever, they're walking about, they're second to scrum, second to line outs. It's clever play. You feel if Melrose can pounce and get the next score, it probably means Jed are down and out. They need something now, they need it to happen, and the question will be, can they?
They do, they need it to happen right now, and they've got a scrum inside their own 22. They're in their own half, rather. It's Shearer Gibb. Shearer Gibb tries to take on a couple of Melrose players, and it comes out the back door. That is a good offload to Lewis Young. Lewis Young's got Lewis Elder inside. Still going, Lewis Young. Now he gets it to Lewis Elder. Can young Elder get to the line? No, he's again been well snaffled by this impressive scramble defence of Melrose, and Hamish Weir's came in and picked the pocket, but against the wishes of the referee. So Jed going to have to go quickly again here, but at least they're up and into Melrose territory. We have not spent much of this final. Gregor Young offloads it to Callum Anderson, and the guest in the Jed ranks, Callum Anderson's in for the first Jed try of the final. So they're back in this. Jed 5, Melrose 19. The kick is taken quickly, and it's not successful. So 2 converted scores between these two teams. Selkirk player in the Jed ranks, Callum Anderson, good man to bring in. And that's contestable, but Weir's prayed in the air. That's silly by the Jed player. It was contestable, but Weir got there first and he needed to be left, so Melrose again just looking to take the sting right out of this. Scott Clark to Doug Crawford to Struan Hutchison, Colvin, all these experienced campaigners. Colvin now to Clark to Don Crawford still in possession. Crawford, Rory Marshall takes him low, and Jed are trying their best to get in over that, but again they've conceded the penalty. So Colvin to Clark to Crawford to Struan Hutchison again comes back in field, kicks off that left foot. Bruce Colvin it is. Colvin, Donald Crawford here. Donald Crawford out to Hamish Weir. That's a good tackle on Weir by Marshall. Weir has been eventually hauled into touch by Rory Marshall. Good defence by the tenacious, experienced campaigner in the Jed ranks, but this is all suiting Melrose perfectly, and Matty, as you expect, they're in no hurry.
We're saying it's great defence by Jed, but they need to be on the attack. They don't want to be having a line out in their own 22. They need another score to try and even make this a contest, but they're going to have to go the long way for here.
They are in the shadow of their own post now. Shira Gibb wrapped up. Walker tries to deploy that famous footwork, and Melrose players swarming into challenges. Crawford tries to lasso out of there. Now Crawford's played a man. That's going to be a penalty all day long, so it's taken quickly by Walker. Up towards the 22 to Lewis Elder, and Lewis Elder's not got much support for company, and that's a loose pass, but Callum Anderson's onto it, and Callum Anderson's broke away here now. Can Callum Anderson go all the way? He's being chased down by the other guest player, the Melrose guest, chasing after the Jed guest, but the Jed guest is going to be in for his second try. The final dots it down, and it is imminently kickable at that. 10 points to 19, kick to come, and Callum Anderson is going to leave it for another Jed player, Lewis Elder. Now Lewis Elder's going to have to get this. Elder, he's curled it round. So Jed 12, Melrose 19. Melrose, we spoke about them looking out on their feet. Some of the players looked out on their feet.
They do now, the look. Jed need to take advantage of this. This needs to be on the money.
That needs to go 10, and it's not going to go 10. Don Crawford thought about playing it, but it's going to come back into the middle for a tap and go. Bruce Colvin. Here they come, Melrose. Hutchison. Next score, absolutely crucial. It always is, but here goes Doug Crawford. Doug Crawford sells a dummy to his brother. That's a good tackle again by Rory Marshall. And Donald Crawford's hassled and harried, and Struan Hutchison kicks it out. The referee blows for full time, as they did in the final last year. Melrose have beaten the hosts. Jed 12, Melrose 19.
Struan, congratulations, winning the Jedforest Sevens for 2024.
Yeah, thanks very much. We just spoke as a group there at the end. Absolutely delighted to kind of finish the season with a win there, and to beat Jed in that final was a really tough game. And we had some really tough games getting to that final as well. I almost thought we were down and out against Edinburgh Uni. I think we were 15-0 down, maybe, or 17-0 down, 3 tries down in that first half early on, and then somehow we managed to dig deep and get over the line there. So, great day weather-wise, big crowd, really good tournament that Jed put on. So yeah, it's been a good day all round, and to get the result in the final just sort of makes that bit better, and as I say, finish the season on a high for all the effort that everyone's put in over the last sort of 6-7 weeks.
You couldn't quite defend the Kings of the Sevens title. You finished second behind Kelso.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one that probably got away from us a little bit there. We obviously had some really good momentum going into Selkirk. I think we were 4 out of 5 finals and 5 out of 6 finals, including that one there today. Just said to some of the boys there, when we were good at tournaments, we felt we were really good, and then when we were bad, we picked up no points. So some of the earlier tournaments, Peebles, Gala, obviously going out early at Melrose and at Selkirk last week. So it's just kind of that inconsistency. Maybe if we'd have picked up a few more points, we'd have been maybe lifting that King's Trophy as well. I don't know what the final sort of standings were, how far away we were, but now we gave it a shot. We chased them down. As I say, we felt we had some good momentum going into it, or into Selkirk last weekend. But yeah, congratulations to Kelso. They've had a consistent squad. They've won fair and square. They've obviously got the most points over the course of the 10 tournaments. So yeah, well done to Kelso, and hopefully they enjoy celebrating that tonight.
I'll give you 2024 Scottish winners. Melrose, well done.
Frankie, congratulations, Kings of the Sevens winners.
Thanks, delighted. It's been a tough season at times, but we've got there in the end, and with a week to spare is quite good. But we're a little bit gutted, honestly, with today. We felt probably a nice way to finish it would have been to win today, but Jed played thoroughly well against us and fully deserved to beat us in the semi-final. So, yeah.
It's been 26 years since Kelso lifted the Kings of the Sevens trophy, so it is very special.
Definitely, it certainly is. In all honesty, until about last week, none of us really knew that. The Kelso boys, it's not really something we've been focusing on. It's more the week to week, the tournament to tournament, trying to get better each week and adjusting what we've done wrong the previous week, trying to build on what we've done right. So, in honesty, the dates didn't really come into it for us.
But it does cap a fantastic season for the club, fourth in the Premiership, which exceeded everybody's expectations, and then winning the Kings.
Definitely, it's been a really good year. Definitely, can't deny that. Can't downplay that at all. But it's totally down to the team atmosphere, the effort. You can't play sevens if you don't have good effort. And a lot of the time during the 15 season, we got through games just through scrapping and out scrapping teams. And really proud of the effort through the season of the boys. Definitely.